You know that feeling, right? That gut punch moment
Oh, yeah, definitely.
when tickets for a band you absolutely love go on sale, you're glued to your screen, hitting refresh,
Constantly refreshing, fingers crossed.
hoping, and then poof, they're gone.
Just vanished. In seconds.
Completely. Only to pop up moments later on some resale site.
For absolutely crazy money.
Exactly. Marked up 10, sometimes, I mean, even 20 times the original price. It's not just frustrating, is it? It feels infuriating.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, who actually controls access to live music anymore? Why does the whole system feel so, well, broken?
Yeah, broken is the word. It's a question that resonates deeply with, I think, pretty much anyone who's tried to go to a concert or event recently.
Absolutely. The simple act of buying a ticket has somehow become this incredibly complex and, let's be honest, often predatory gauntlet for fans.
It really has, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. We're diving into a really compelling new feature-length documentary that's currently in the works. It's titled Ticket Chaos: The Scalping Crisis.
Sounds timely.
Very. Our mission in this deep dive is to explore the film's vision, maybe shine a light on the passionate individuals behind it, and really understand why this story is so critical right now.
Yeah.
The documentary itself, well, it promises to expose how ticket scalping has just exploded, from what they call a shady street hustle into a billion-dollar digital industry.
Wow, $1 billion.
Yeah. And it aims to lay bare the predatory systems fueling chaos in the entertainment world. Strong words.
They are, but honestly, the timing couldn't be more crucial for a film like this, could it?
Yeah.
Live event prices have just soared in the last few years.
Totally.
And it's led to this huge wave of public outrage. You see it everywhere. We're seeing, legislative scrutiny, politicians asking some pretty tough questions.
Right.
And artists themselves are publicly fighting these unfair practices. You hear them talking about it.
Yeah, you do.
So as live entertainment is roaring back after the pandemic shutdowns, this systemic issue isn't just some minor annoyance, It's a really significant barrier to accessibility and equity for millions of people.
Absolutely. And for this deep dive, we've actually been given a unique look, kind of an intimate look at the project's own pitch materials, its business plans, and even statements directly from its creator.
Oh, interesting. So behind the curtain a bit.
Exactly. It's a fascinating glimpse into the journey of bringing such a vital story to light, especially one that seems to aim to be a pretty definitive account. So, okay, let's dig into the problem that Ticket Chaos is setting out to tackle.
Well, what's truly striking, from the film's perspective anyway, is how modern ticket scalping has evolved. I mean, it's so far from the guy on the street corner it maybe once was.
Right, not just that anymore.
Not at all. The sources we looked at reveal how it's become this global digital empire. And that's not just individual opportunists trying to make a quick buck. It's enabled by really sophisticated bots.
The bots, yeah. Always hear about the bots.
Oh, yeah, they're a huge part of it. Plus, these massive international resale platforms, and maybe most critically, the legal loopholes that these big entities exploit.
And I think what becomes undeniably clear when you investigate this issue is how certain platforms, especially the giants like Ticketmaster and Live Nation, just exert immense market dominance.
Huge dominance.
Their control, combined with how that secondary market, the resale tickets, actively distorts actual demand and supply. It's transformed what really should be a straightforward purchase into something totally different.
Completely different.
And the documentary highlights how these dynamic pricing algorithms, which, I mean, these are basically automated systems that instantly adjust ticket prices based on real-time demand.
Right, surge pricing, essentially.
Exactly, often inflating them dramatically the moment tickets go on sale. That, alongside what the film calls monopolistic platforms, has turned live entertainment into this exclusive, overpriced battlefield.
Battlefield is a good word for it sometimes.
That scenario where maybe a $150 face value ticket suddenly costs $1,500 overnight, that's just a brutal, unfair reality for so many fans.
It really is. And that's where the human impact really comes into sharp focus in the film's plan.
Yeah.
It seems set to delve deeply into the emotional and economic toll on fans, artists, and communities across the U.S. and the U.K.
Yeah, it's not just about the money, is it?
No, not at all. It's about losing access to what can be a really fundamental cultural experience. Often one that builds community, creates these lasting memories. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this isn't just about music or sports tickets. It's about who gets to belong.
Right.
Who gets to participate in these shared cultural moments, and fundamentally, who gets excluded.
That distinction feels really crucial. because this isn't a problem that hits everyone equally, right? Our deep dive into the project's vision shows the film specifically highlights how this broken system disproportionately impacts certain communities.
That's important to cover.
Yeah. We're talking about BIPOC fans, rural communities, low-income individuals, disabled fans, people maybe living on fixed incomes for whom these crazy price hikes are just insurmountable.
Absolutely, a non-starter.
Young fans, too, and even Native American communities. The film argues they are often the ones systematically priced out of enjoying live events, which just further marginalizes them from mainstream culture.
Which raises a really important question for all of us, I think. If live music, or any live event, really, is meant to bring people together,
Yeah.
what does it mean when so many are actively being shut out by these exploitative systems?
It's a sobering thought, isn't it? When you put it that way, it goes way beyond just ticket prices. It really hits at the heart of what these live experiences should be about: connection, community.
Exactly.
So how does Ticket Chaos actually plan to tell this huge, complex story? The structure sounds really interesting. It's laid out in 5 acts.
Okay.
It opens with an intro designed to immediately grab you, throwing you right into the chaos. Fans frantically refreshing their apps, seeing tickets just evaporate.
Visceral.
Yeah. Then, the first act, The Broken System, dives deep behind the scenes. It explains the true costs of producing live shows, reveals how ticketing really works, or, maybe more accurately, fails to work, and it charts the rise of these huge industry giants.
Right, setting the stage. Then Act 2, Who is Getting Shut Out, sounds like the emotional core.
That's what it seems like.
This is where those intimate fan stories come in, exposing what they call the dark ecosystem of bots, shell resellers,
Here.
which I gather are often like fake companies set up to hide who's really doing the large-scale scalping
Okay. Makes sense.
and exposing the legal loopholes that just let this problem continue.
Then it seems the scope widens quite a bit in Act 3, Global Perspectives. It shifts focus to the UK and explores European and Australian models.
Oh, looking for solutions.
Exactly. Models that have actually had some success in limiting profiteering. It shows that, hey, viable solutions do exist. It's not an impossible problem to solve.
That's crucial, showing what can be done.
And building on that hope, Act 4, The Fight for Fairness, showcases grassroots campaigns, some exciting new ticketing tech like blockchain verification.
Oh, interesting. Like for secure tickets?
Yeah, the idea is creating secure, tamper-proof digital tickets, making it much harder for scalpers to counterfeit or unfairly resell them. And it also highlights legal victories that are starting to push back against the current system.
Good. Progress.
Then the film culminates with a powerful ending, basically a universal call to action echoing that sentiment. If music is for the people, then let the people in. It's positioned not just as a documentary, but really as a rallying cry for change.
And visually, it sounds like it aims to be very engaging.
Yeah.
The proposed style blends verite-style concert footage. So that's like raw, realistic, fly-on-the-wall filming of live events.
Right, capturing the energy.
With cinematic reenactments, immersive interviews, and dynamic data visualizations to make all that complex information easier to grasp.
Yeah, making the data make sense.
Exactly. The tone is described as urgent, emotional, and empowering. And they're drawing inspiration, apparently, from the investigative clarity of the social dilemma combined with the cultural pulse of Summer of Soul.
Wow, that's a really powerful and compelling combination for a documentary, isn't it?
It really is. High aspirations there.
What's also fascinating is the ambition behind the proposed interviews. The filmmakers are clearly reaching for a really diverse range of voices. They mention wanting to include professional artist musicians like Bruce Springsteen, Ed Sheeran, Eric Bass from the band Shinedown, Eminem, Kid Rock.
Big names.
Huge names. Now, it's really, really important to stress here, none of these interviews are confirmed yet.
Okay, that's key. Proposed, not confirmed.
Exactly. The filmmakers are actively in the process of trying to make these connections, and they genuinely state they are willing to accept any contact information people would be willing to share if you, the listener, happen to know these artists or others in the industry who might be open to participating.
So a call out for connections, essentially.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Beyond artists, they're also looking to interview policymakers like Senator Amy Klobuchar, who's been vocal on this, industry experts, too, from places like Ticketmaster, StubHub, and the Fanfare Alliance, that's a nonprofit campaign group in the UK fighting for fair ticketing.
Good to get those perspectives too, even the controversial ones.
Absolutely. And of course, those crucial personal fan stories we talked about earlier, they seem central.
Makes sense. And the distribution goals for Ticket Chaos sound equally ambitious. They're targeting a broad and impactful audience.
Where are they aiming?
Well, major streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, also cable networks such as MTV and PBS. And on the film festival circuit, they're looking at top-tier events like Sundance, Tribeca, Hot Docs.
So really aiming high to get it seen.
Definitely. That kind of exposure would bring significant visibility and critical acclaim to what sounds like a really vital project.
So who is the driving force behind this incredibly ambitious and frankly vital project? The writer, director, and producer of Ticket Chaos.
The Scalping Crisis is Lovelee and Clark.
And what she brings to this film is truly unique, and it seems to profoundly shape its perspective.
How so? What's her background?
Well, her background really seems to define her approach and fuel her dedication. Loveling Clark brings what the materials describe as lived experience, creative grit, and a deep sense of responsibility to this film.
Okay.
She is someone who comes from historically underrepresented communities. Specifically, she's identified as an autistic, physically disabled, multiracial compareless. The materials mention Aztec, Irish, Black heritage filmmaker who grew up in the foster care system and also endured homelessness.
Wow. That's that's quite a journey, and it certainly gives a unique lens on issues of access and being shut out.
Absolutely. That personal journey truly underlines the stakes here, doesn't it? For Clark, this isn't just another production. It's described as a deeply personal mission to expose injustice and create space for people who are constantly pushed to the margins.
You can see why this topic would resonate so personally.
Yeah. She states it with such clarity and conviction in the materials. I must produce this project because I do not just understand the story, I am the story.
Powerful.
And her vision also extends beyond just this one film. She aims to build an environment where others, especially those from marginalized backgrounds, have access to resources, mentorship, and opportunity.
That's fantastic. Paying it forward.
And she's working on her own film projects under her company, Goddess Productions. And this is an important detail. It will soon be turned into a nonprofit film production company.
A nonprofit?
Yeah. Its dedication is specifically to telling the stories of and/or by underserved communities, with a particular focus, it seems, on foster kids, disabled creators, low-income individuals, and Native American voices.
That's an incredibly impactful mission. And aligns perfectly with the themes of the documentary itself, doesn't it? About who gets heard, who gets access.
Exactly, and she's not alone in this. Nefertiti Thomas is the cinematographer and co-producer. The materials highlight her complementary strengths in visual storytelling and a deep understanding of the urgency of telling stories that truly reflect real people and experiences.
Sounds like a really formidable team, driven by purpose and clearly a lot of personal conviction.
It does. So if you're wondering how this ambitious project is actually going to come to fruition, well, the film is currently in its pre-production phase, and it's actively raising funds right now.
Okay, the practical side, what are they looking for?
The overall budget goal is stated as $400,000. Within that, $246,000 is specifically cited as needed for the production phase itself. The funding for this crucial work is currently, quote, in development.
So they're actively seeking it now.
They are. And this is where you, our listeners, could potentially play a part if you feel moved to. There is an active GoFundMe campaign specifically set up to raise money for the film.
Okay, good to know. Do you have the link?
Yes, you can find it by going to https://gofund.m93e4831f. That's gofund.me/93e4831f.
Got it.
And the funding, they explain, is needed for all stages. Pre-production, then that largest portion for production itself, post-production, and also that crucial festival outreach phase to get the film seen by as many people as possible.
Makes sense. Film production isn't cheap, especially for independent creators.
No, and the challenges they face are significant. The materials point out that independent filmmakers, especially those from historically excluded backgrounds, often encounter underfunding, limited industry connections, and the persistent undervaluing of socially driven content led by BIPOC and disabled creators.
It's a systemic issue within the film industry itself.
It seems so. And it's noted as particularly challenging for Lovelee Clark, who lives on SSDI, that's Social Security Disability Insurance, which, as the materials state, severely limits her financial flexibility for undertaking such a massive, impactful project.
Yeah, that adds another huge hurdle.
But despite these hurdles, the team is described as undeterred. They truly seem to believe that ticket chaos can shift conversations, not just around entertainment, but around access, equity, and fundamentally who gets to shape culture.
It's clear they see this as much more than just a film, don't they? It's framed as a movement aimed at sparking real change.
It really is. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe something to consider is this. If access to live music or live events in general is a fundamental measure of belonging in our society, what does it truly say about us when so many are systematically priced out?
It's a powerful question, isn't it? It invites us all to think about how we might contribute in whatever way to ensuring that, well, music is for the people.
Exactly. Because, as the documentary so powerfully aims to state, if music is for the people, then it is time to let the people in.